The first stop on our tour bus is the video game section.
Whoa.
Wow.
Please, no flash photography. During early development, the specimen was weary of both the outside world and the scary media produced by it. But we found exposure to a franchise labeled Five Nights at Freddy's. They had begun to come out of their shell horror-wise.
Five Nights at Freddy's? Never heard of it.
Let's hear out an explanation then. Here, I'll play the tape.
Ever since I was young, I had anxiety, but I loved video games. Growing up in the 2010s, Freddy Fazbear was inescapable, and I was obsessed. It was the first introduction to my love of horror and very convoluted plots. I drew a lot of artwork for FNAF, and met a few people and bonded over because of being a fan. Though there are multiple other games that have impacted my thoughts like Amori and Undertale, FNAF I've been into since I was in elementary school, and I think it's safe to say I'd be a very different person without it, and it still affects me to this day.
Aw, how sweet. Okay, moving on. This is the animation department. A second in this area feels like 2 hours.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Cool.
Nice.
Neat.
Whoa.
There is a lot of animation that the specimen likes. In actuality, most of their time is spent doing their own animations, but one story that affected them the most has got to be an anime called Mob Psycho 100.
Never heard of it. What's it about?
Tape, please!
The anime Mob Psycho 100 is about a real psychic kid who works for a fake psychic. The show is a comedy, mixed with a coming-of-age and supernatural. The show is sweet and has many themes that I relate to, like not knowing what to do in the future, natural talent versus earned talent, and doing things that aren't in your comfort zone just to improve. The main point is that no one is more important than anyone else, and that you can do anything. Though that's a common theme, I feel like the show has a way of portraying it where it feels more earnest than most media. Especially in one of my favorite lyrics in the theme song, "If everyone is not special, then maybe you can be who you want to be." The show has nice morals, is very funny, and has some of the most beautiful animation I've ever seen. Seriously, some of the shots they did for animation was by painting on glass. It's incredible. And definitely earns a spot for a story that has changed my life for the better.
Wow, how sweet. Okay, Honor. Hey! What's this door for? Don't open that. Don't. I think I'm gonna. Could you not? No. Well, we'd all find out eventually. Though, this door is an archive of our own. Get the tape from the padding. Wattpad?
If you're hearing this tape, make up your own fanfiction.net joke. I cannot think of one. But if you couldn't tell from what I've been implying, I could not mention stories that make me who I am without mentioning the deep depths of fanfiction. But don't worry, it's not as scary as it seems. I know how to swim. Growing up dyslexic, I had a strong disdain for reading. It took a lot of energy, so I didn't want to read something that I didn't like, and for a long time I just didn't. But slowly I got into fan comics, and that led to fan fiction. A fanfic, if you don't know, is a story based on a pre-existing work. Because they have a bad rap, it can lead to a lot of them feeling more honest and open. And because there is no way to monetize them, people who make them are often very dedicated and enthusiastic about writing, which makes stories much more fun to read. Of course, since anyone can post a fanfiction, there tends to be a lot of slop, or not as good, but I've read a lot that are also masterpieces. Unlike with school books, there's no pressure to read them, so it's a nice experience, being able to stop reading anytime I don't care anymore. And the comfort of already knowing the worlds and the characters have made it so much more to get into reading with certainty that I will enjoy what I read. Since I've started, I've only been reading more and more. It's helped me start writing, and now I can read 50k words in a day if I wanted to, when before I hated the thought of reading anything. It's a nice thing to do in my downtime, and it's less stressful than art and writing.
And there it is, the story of the mind. Any questions?
I think I got on the wrong bus.